Oh, 11 in the morning on a Thursday? What kind of idiot goes to the cinema then? Oh, alright. Hello, Dullbedsitblogger here, and this morning I got up to go and see Deadpool. Yes, got up because, well, the Duke of York's, which is my usual cinema, isn't showing Deadpool. I don't know why. Distribution, blah de blah de blah, nya nya nya. So I had to go and see it at one of the other cinemas. I'm not a big fan of the other cinemas. The chairs aren't nearly as comfortable, and they don't have as good a class of audience member as the Duke of York's. But then, that's me being a snob, isn't it? So, Deadpool. For those of you who don't know, Deadpool is a very popular character within the Marvel comic books superheroes, and he's kind of quite different in that he knows he's written in a comic, and he will often talk to the readers of the comic, and he's very violent. He's not really a good guy. He's a bit of a douche. Oh, I've used a terrible Americanism. Ugh, dear me. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's a bit of an arse. And, yeah, there is allusions to sexual practices. And there's a bit of swearing and general irreverence from Deadpool. He's very popular from going to comic conventions. There will always be a bunch of Deadpools dressed up. And, I'll be the first to admit I haven't read a Deadpool comic. I have picked up on the character and enjoyed the character. So, I was kind of looking forward to the film. He does have an irreverent stab at superhero comics and the whole superhero genre. He's very much for adults in that he's violent, he swears, and there's sexual content. Quite often in the world of comics, when you say it's the adult thing, it turns into super violent or super sexualized or a deep think piece comic. Whereas I think Deadpool kind of pulls all of them, but still is a superhero within the X-Men superheroes world, which is quite interesting. The film, I from the get-go, the minute the age certification comes up and disappears and the film starts, there is breaking down of the superhero film genre, and all the way through it, which is quite good and refreshing in the fact that it is a superhero film that sits within the X-Men universe, and it's not purely a parody film of superheroes, which I thought was quite refreshing and very nice in that it gives you that thing of, you're an adult, you enjoy superheroes, let's just enjoy superheroes. It kind of sits in a similar way to that, say, wrestling, when the WWE went into the Attitude Era and they changed the name from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment and said, we're sports entertainment, and we're here to entertain. It's in a very similar way of like, yeah, this is a superhero. This wouldn't happen. This is a superhero film. There are going to be things that are generic and kind of a little bit hackneyed. The number one way to get the bad guy is for the bad guy to get the good guy is for the bad guy to get the good guy's girl. But it's still a good formula. I think, it's an age-old story that's been told since the Greeks. Um, and I did enjoy Deadpool. There's some very funny moments in it. Some good wisecracks, some good in jokes. I probably missed a lot of the jokes because I'm not a huge comic geek of like the American comics. When I used to read comics more, I was more likely to read the British comics. I was a big fan of 2000 AD, and I like that kind of hero rather than superheroes. Out of all the Marvel superhero films that have been out recently, I think I've liked the Iron Man ones best. I really didn't enjoy Thor, and I haven't bothered with the Avengers and X-Men. I've kind of enjoyed, but not kind of. I kind of fizzled out of watching them when they came out. But I was looking forward to Deadpool because he's kind of quite refreshing and a bit of a piss taker. Well worth seeing the film. Some nice effects, and the background for the story is good. And yes, I think anyone would enjoy the film as long as they don't mind some violence and swearing, and anyone would get the jokes in the film because most people have an idea about superhero films. Now they've made the Deadpool film. I think the public and Hollywood are ready to make a martial law film. Martial Law was one of my favourite comics. Come on, martial law film. Come on, please. Someone do a martial law film. I think possibly not necessarily in live action, but a good animated, not in a CGI 3D animated, but a good animated martial law feature length film would be great. Bye bye.